Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of African Voices. We'll be talking all things tales and tunes with Kayefi. This is an upcoming event with Utopia Theatre, which will be taking place on the 20th of April. I'm Chiwa Chihana, and it's really my pleasure to be joined by the artist herself, Kayefi, who I'll introduce you to in a moment. Good evening, Kayefi, and thanks so much for joining us on African Voices platform.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Lovely. So Kayefi was born Lawal Deborah. I'm going to try and pronounce your surname. Could you try that for me? Is it Olufunmilayo?
Yep, that's it. Spot on.
Okay. In Ogun State of Nigeria. Kayefi is an Afro-soul artist who blends African melodies, Ijala chants, and soul. So she's got hits like Oreski, Ido Ogbo, and Oro, and she's earned international acclaim performing across Africa and the United Kingdom. She's also an award-winning artist, and I have personally experienced Kayefi as a lyricist for the amazing Utopia Theatre directed Death of the King's Horseman, which is by Wallace Soyinka. So, Kayefi, you've been busy.
Absolutely, I try.
You're trying, yeah. So tell me, just because I might have an insight into your work, but can you share a bit about your personal background and what initially drew you to folk and Afro-soul music?
I grew up in Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria. Yeah.
Right.
And I was into theater art at a very young age. And my mom's uncle used to have a theater group, which we would attend. And because during the holidays, she wouldn't want us to stay at home doing nothing. So she'd send us down to her uncle, who was a theater arts practitioner. And usually they do lots of folk music, lots of chants. Yeah. So I grew up listening to all of them. And I think that's
You sound like an old soul, like, okay, you just went in and joined your uncle and all this, but that sounds beautiful, yeah. Absolutely. So where was that?
I beg your pardon?
Where was that?
That was in Nigeria, way back in Nigeria. Yeah, in Lagos.
Right. Okay, that sounds really beautiful. So the music you do, it weaves traditional African narratives with contemporary sounds. Am I correct?
Absolutely, yeah, spot on.
Okay, lovely. And how do you balance maintaining your cultural roots whilst trying to experiment with these modern musical influences, for example?
Music for me is about telling stories. And so the Yoruba language is my indigenous language.
Yeah.
I try to use it as much as I can. But in cases where I want people to actually understand what I'm saying, sometimes I do a little bit of interpretation. So I blend it together. I speak my Yoruba language, that's constant. And then the other language blends in just to give people more understanding of what I'm saying. And in other cases, sometimes I just don't worry about it. I feel that music is spiritual. You get the message once you're able to listen to it. So yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful. So like just a spiritual connection to what is being portrayed using art in that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you also talked about, I think you centered storytelling, and I think that's very powerful. So that is central to your shows. And how do the stories that you tell on stage connect with just cultural conversations and social conversations? What do you like to focus on, for example?
So when something happens to you, somebody says that when something happens in the universe, it doesn't just happen to one person, it spreads out. You get what I mean?
Wow.
So when I tell stories about myself, I believe that there are people that have gone through such instances, such situations, and my aim is to help heal them if I can, because in most cases that's how I've found my own healing. I've found my way. So the aim is just to spread the message, help people as much as with my music as much as it has helped me. Sorry about that, yeah. And so I tell my stories. I'm very vulnerable in my performances. I cry sometimes because most of the stories I tell are real stories, things that have happened to me or people beside me. So I just use it as much as I can to heal others.
Right. Oof. That's pretty powerful. I'm emotional already, and I haven't even gotten to the part where we get to talk about Tales and Tunes with Kayefi, the upcoming event. So maybe let's get a little bit into that now. So Roots and Rhythm have chosen a pay what you can model for the Tales and Tunes event with you, and you're talking about connecting with people. So is this about accessibility? Is that because you want to make culture more accessible to people?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's my aim.
yeah,
Because most of us are in a foreign land and we tend to miss home so much.
yeah.
You get what I mean? Sometimes it's the time to take that time to go home or connect with your people. So I think this should help with that. Even if you can't afford to pay, just come in. Just come and feel the taste of home and the smell of home and the music of home.
Beautiful. So I'm going to touch on one thing that's exciting me, and then you will tell us more about the actual event itself. But you have an Ankara Carpet Experience at the start of your event. I mean, that sounds amazing. What is that going to be like? So it's an Ankara carpet. What does that look like?
So we know about red carpets.
Mm-hmm.
This is my culture. One of our major outfits that we love Adire, we love Ankara, we love local fabrics that belong to us. And if you look at the invite, I've written there, come representing your clan. It could
Mm-hmm.
be anything as long as it represents your clan. And we'd love to display that on our carpets. We want to show Africa to the world, see how beautiful our culture is, see how beautiful everything about Africa is. So the Ankara carpet will have people come, dress up as African as you can. And then we have our hosts on the red carpet talk to you. And yeah, it's going to be lovely. Trust me. It's going to be really nice.
I'm quite looking forward to it. I never miss an opportunity working with. So my heritage is Zambian, and the equivalent fabric is called chitenge.
Oh,
And
nice.
so I'm trying to look through my chitenge outfits to see which one I can wear. I'm really excited about
Please, please look as Kenyan as possible. You see, cultures will come together and mix. Really,
that.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that now that you've told me.
Yeah, it's Zambian. Sorry, Zambian. So I'm Zambian.
Zambia,
It's
Zambian.
Zambian. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, chitenge.
I'd love to see
Yeah,
all of
I'm
you.
quite looking forward. What are you? So are you also going to do the red carpet, or are you just going to surprise us with a stage appearance when you're ready?
Let's leave that for the day. Let's not let
Ah!
the cat out of the bag.
So what time is the Ankara carpet arrival?
So it starts at 6 p.m. to half past
Okay.
6, and the show starts at half past 6.
Okay, right. Okay. Now, tell us what to actually expect of the show taking place on the 20th of April at Utopia Theatre. Yeah, if you can repeat what it's being called and then just tell us everything about it that we need to know.
So the show is called Tales and Tunes, and from the name itself, it's going to be a lot of storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
my experiences, the things that I've been through, and hopefully it extends to you, my audience, helps to heal you, helps to let you see things maybe differently if it helps, and lovely music. I have some very good musicians playing with me on that
Right.
day. A relaxed atmosphere. If you want to weave your hair, so there's someone here there over there so that can help with that. They can help weave
Yeah.
your hair if you want, but you'd have to come early if you want to do that because we don't want anything eaten into the show. Yeah, a few African food, just finger foods.
The
Yeah.
food. Oh my God, I missed that.
A few African food. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be really exciting. It's gonna be really
Mm.
exciting. Trust me, you'd love it. It's just giving a huge part of myself out.
Brilliant. So how do people get access to these tickets then for Tales and Tunes with Kayefi?
Because Ethiopia space is a bit there's a limitation in the capacity in the amount of people it can take.
Mhm.
So you have to register to attend, even though it's free.
Yeah.
So on the invite, on the flyer, there's a barcode that you just have to scan and just register. Nothing more, no complications. Just scan the barcode and register. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a barcode. So if Kayefi makes that available, if you're watching on TV, then we'll put it somewhere here. But then for those on radio, is there a website that people can go to?
www.imkayefi.com.
imkayefi.com, so that's where they can go. Lovely, thank you so much. Now, I was thinking very much about challenges and triumphs for you. You're an independent artist, aren't you?
Yes, I am at the moment.
Yeah. So what are some of the obstacles you faced along your journey and how have you overcome them? And how are you overcoming them? I imagine there's always something new.
Oh, that's a very interesting question. I was not always an independent artist. I was not always an
Okay.
independent artist. Yeah, I'd been signed under several record labels, and I think at some point I realized that I'd gotten a bit spoiled.
No.
Like the only thing I concentrate, and it's still, yeah, it's still something that I'm working on now as an independent artist. Because the only thing that I had to concentrate on at that time was just my craft, just write and sing, just write and sing. I didn't have to worry about promoting my work. I didn't have to worry about planning my events myself. I didn't
You
have to
just
worry
showed
about
up.
it. I didn't have to worry about a lot of things. I didn't have to worry about a lot of things until a few years ago when I became an independent artist, due to some factors also that I just had to let go. I'm like, no, I think I can do this by myself. Yeah, and I found
Right.
out that it wasn't as easy as I thought. So way back home, I had a team also around me. When I became an independent artist, I had a team around me that helped with the management part of my business,
Right.
my craft, yeah. And then I still only had to concentrate on just my craft, just come out and show up and sing, no, nothing else. And it did help me at that time because there were no distractions. But
Yeah. Yeah. What changed? What happened?
so when I moved here, it was a different ball game. I had to
And
be
he's
in my,
being here, being the UK. You're London based, right?
I'm London based, yeah.
But you come to Sheffield quite a
I'm
lot.
coming to Sheffield, yeah. Then
Lovely. Yeah.
I'm actually coming to Sheffield like to stay very
Oh,
soon.
that would be nice. So we see a bit of you coming to perform. You might as well move. Yeah, but go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you moved
Yeah,
to the
so
UK.
yeah, so it was a different ball game. I had to be my own director. I had to be my own producer. I had to be my own stage manager. I had to be my own contact person for everyone. Usually, if even if I had to attend anything at all, it would just be there was a middleman that would come to me, Kayefi, this is how you should show up, and that was it. I just wake up, dress up, and show up. But now I
Yeah.
have to be on the phone. Please, it's oh my God, it's been really, really tough for me. But I'm learning a lot. I'm learning as I'm moving on. I'm learning. It's not easy, but yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah,
there's a
yeah.
lot of that, right? And so what's the sweet spot then when it comes to young artists? Is it just telling them just continue persevere? Is that how it works? How are
Yeah,
you
continue
doing
to
it?
persevere, but still open your eyes.
Yeah.
Open your eyes. Know what you want.
Mm.
Know what you want. Have a plan for yourself. Like in 5 years' time, this is what I want to do. And don't just have that. Plan towards it.
Yeah.
Because if you as a young artist, I was exploited a lot because I just wanted to sing. I
All
just
right.
wanted to
Yeah.
sing. I
Yeah.
didn't care about anything. I just wanted to sing. I just wanted to let out everything that I had in me. I just wanted to write and sing. I'd write song and dash it out to people because it usually came easily to me. I'd perform for people for like I just wanted to sing. I didn't care about the business part of it.
Right.
But now I've had to
Mm.
pay attention. So as a young independent artist, you have to pay attention. There's a lot
Yeah.
going on right under your nose. Don't get too carried away by yeah, because it's art. It tends to like captivate you. It tends to like it tends to just leave you to want to just explore the creative part of your business alone, of your craft alone. Like I just want to sing. This new song just came out. This new lyrics just came to me. Oh, this new beat. Oh, this new instrumental. It's good, but don't get too carried away by that concept. Keep your eyes open.
Because there are people there that will just exploit you, right?
You
They'll
are in
just,
the
because
pool.
they'll exploit your naivety as well.
They see that passion, they see that excitement, they take advantage of it. And yeah, before you know it, you just sing, and other people are making money, and you're just singing.
Yeah,
Open your
that's
eyes
very
wide.
important. That's so important. So, in case you're just joining us, whether on TV or on radio, you are watching African Voices and you're listening to African Voices Radio. So, if you don't know, we recently launched our radio station, which is African Voices Radio. It's on DAB, and then our TV show continues as well on Sheffield Live TV. Now, the artist Kayefi is going to be hosting an event at Utopia Theatre on the 20th of April. It's called Tales and Tunes with Kayefi. And now we're just digging deep into Kayefi's art. We want to learn a bit more because, you know, we need to platform more African artists. And so Kayefi was just giving us tips about resilience, tenacity in the industry and an awareness. Kayefi, one of the things I'm finding, because we've recently launched our radio station, and I'm trying to learn from musicians like yourself, singers, musicians, poets, about listings. Like there's something about listings, and if we want to put our music out there, especially if we're a diaspora-based station, what should we be looking out for? What would you like as a musician for us to put on our station, and how would you want us to approach you?
In terms of content, you mean?
Yeah, in terms of content, like how do you usually get your music to be listed by a radio station? What would you like to see? Is it easy? Is it difficult? How can we make it easy for you to have your music listed?
So I've not tried to put my music on radio here in England, but way back home, I had a lot of people in the media that, like I said, I didn't have to worry about doing all those things myself. It was always the
Somebody was
management that
doing
would
it for
do
you.
that. But when I became an independent artist, I had to like link up with the people that I knew on radio, on TV. Sometimes they'd because of the kind of music that I do, sometimes there's a bit of challenge because people want to listen to Afro beats, but there are still some stations that play your folk and your very indigenous and kind of music. So the challenge has always been that so some of my songs that are very folky in nature, very slow, very ballad kind of, they tend to only want to play them at a particular time of the day. Because maybe during rush hours they'd want people. Yeah. So, but it would be nice to listen to cool music in the afternoon. So it doesn't have to be at a particular time, at a certain time. Maybe, yeah.
Like spread it out. Okay. So I think I can commit to say that as we're going to be creating a platform for different countries or different genres of music. And we would definitely like to be listing some of your work because we think every type of genre of music is amazing, especially when it comes from the continent. So I can give you that one on our part. And hopefully, that opens up you up to a wider audience as well. I'm going to talk a little bit about your audience engagement. I noticed that on your publicity and even previously, you talk about family-friendly environment. How do you tailor performances to resonate with such a diverse range of listeners?
Let me tell you one little story. So I've had to do an event one time. And then I had some kids. I had some kids at the event, and I had to perform some songs that I'd written that were not suitable for kids. If you get what I mean, I'd already started the song. Nothing vulgar, yeah. I think it's just my head. It's just my head thinking, okay, would I want my daughter listening to this? Lyrics wise, it wasn't bad, it wasn't terrible, but I've had to take out some words, change my lyrics just to fit into.
So you were adjusting with the spots as you were performing.
I had to start to get creative. Like, okay. My guys were looking at me like, Kayefi, what are you? That's not the lyrics. That's not the word. I'm like, don't worry. There are kids here. But I try as much as possible to, when I'm writing my songs, because they just come to me. Sometimes I can't even help myself because they come to me and I don't like diluting them sometimes. I just like to bring them out the way I receive them. So so in cases where family members are going to be coming with their kids and all, I try to streamline the kind of songs, the type of my songs that I'll be performing. Yeah. So that everyone can as well listen, both the children and the parents can listen and go home with something.
Oh, beautiful. That sounds like, yeah. Right. So I'm going to ask you probably one last question that will be loaded with maybe sub thinking a bit more. So I saw you in Death and the King's Horseman. Again, that was directed by Utopia Theatre. That was amazing. I was at Sheffield. I saw you at Sheffield Theatres rather than anywhere else. Have you toured anywhere else outside of Sheffield actually yet?
In the
With
UK?
Death and the King's Horseman.
No, that was my first performance of Death and the King's Horseman.
Okay, all right, okay. So, what are some of the dreams or projects you're looking forward to pursuing next, and how might your upcoming work continue to honor African heritage?
Yeah, I have an album that I've wanted to release for the past 2 years now because I'm a perfectionist. Nothing I do ever sounds right to my ears. So sometimes I try to play it to people. What do you think about this? Half of the people in fact, a majority of people that have played the album to, they think it's great. But it's just me again trying to say, no, it's not ready. No, it's not ready. So hopefully by the end of this year, I should be able to put out that album.
Oh, great. So you heard it here first.
Mm.
By the end, you should hold Kayefi to account. You'll find her social media handles all over. Hold her to account and say you promised us an album by the end of this year, okay? If you're listening or watching. But Kayefi, it's been lovely speaking to you, and we look forward to the event on the 20th of April at 6 p.m. And your website again, so people can go for the tickets if they're just listening and do not have access to the barcode.
It's www.iamkayefi.com. iamkayefi.com.
Lovely. Thank you so much to all our listeners. Just to remind you that we now have our own radio station, and we're taking proposals. If you go to africanvoicesplatform.org, if you'd like to host your own show on our community radio station, we're broadcasting to Sheffield, Rotherham, and because we're on DAB, anywhere in the world, anybody can join us. So please visit our website, and hope to see you at Utopia Theatre on the 20th of April with Tunes and Tells with Kayefi. Good night.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.